Hi, welcome to another Chill Talks. This is where I ask you guys to give me any topics that you guys want me to talk about during a longer form of video like today. So you can listen while you get ready. We're gonna do some makeup. I just kind of want to play around with a palette that I haven't played around and see what I come up with. And yeah, just kind of want to play with a palette. I have two palettes in mind because of the outfit that I'm wearing. You can't see, but it's a black top. And look at how cute the color of the leggings is. It's so cute. I love this color and kind of want to match the vibes. This one, I got it a while back and I never really used it, so I kind of want to try this one or that one from Hard Candy, and I think I'm gonna go with this one because it matches my vibe a lot more today. So yeah, just if you want to see how we do some makeup, then you can definitely watch, or if you just want to listen to something while you get ready or while you do some stuff around the house, then this is perfect and we can talk about some things. Last Sunday, I asked you guys what you wanted me to talk about, and I had a couple of topics, but one of the ones that was like the most predominant one, the one that was asked about the most, was very relationship oriented. And one was how to manage a lifestyle change when your partner isn't on a lifestyle change. I'm gonna use this primer from e.l.f. I like e.l.f. primers. They're very affordable and they work really well. And it's the blemish control. Do I see a difference when I use primer? No, but I still use them. So, do you use primer? Do you see a difference? So one of the things that when I first started working out, I think that the most important thing to understand is that everybody has things going on when it comes to fitness and health, and sometimes we have to understand that about our partners. And the reason and the fact that you want to work out, that you want to better your diet, doesn't usually mean that your partner is on the same page, and that's totally fine. I feel like often, like and I used to be of the same mindset that you can say, well, we have to do absolutely everything together, and it would pressure my husband to do the same things even though he didn't want to. Like, for instance, one time I was dead set that I wanted to try keto, and I told my husband, like, I want to try keto, and he was very supportive, and he was like, you know what, like, I have heard about that, I don't know how that works, but if you want to, we can try it. And we did. And honestly, keto it's just not for me. I just feel like keto it's very restrictive, and in a lot of ways I don't understand it. I was dragging my husband into it, who wasn't even into the idea in the first place, but because he's very supportive, he was like, let's give it a try. And I'm pretty sure that when you live with somebody for a really long time and you love them and you care about them, you want to make sure that they achieve what they want to achieve. So when I first started trying to lose weight, I would be like, I'm going to eat this, and he was like, okay, that's fine, like, that's you. And we did that for a while. I remember that after we tried keto and that didn't work, I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, like, I'm never going to lose the weight, because one of the things that we enjoy the most is eating together. He also wasn't feeling well, and I was feeling like I was very sick, and I was still like, I want to lose weight and I want to get better at this. But we had both extremely demanding jobs, like very busy schedules, And sometimes we would come home very tired, and the last thing that either of us wanted to do was eat a salad, you know. So eventually I started eating different than him. Like, he would make breakfast for him, and I would be like, I'm just good with like eggs and a slice of bacon, and I'll put it on a slice of lettuce, and have that as breakfast. Is it healthy? No. So I mean, it's did it help me lose weight? Absolutely. It's a calorie deficit. That's what you're doing. So it started to get to a point where it's like, I'm going to have to eat different than you, and that's okay. And he was like, I don't know about that, but you could definitely try it. And I started working out. So I would, and not even working out at this point, I was actually going for walks with my dogs. So I started going for walks with my dogs, and I would tell him, like, I just want to go for a long walk. And he would kind of get worried, you know, that I was going too far, you know, just normal things to worry about as my husband. Started walking, started eating differently. Of course, he was working a lot more hours than I was at the time. He is on a different path than I am, and that's okay, because we are individuals that choose to share their life. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people mix up, and it's the pressure of putting the other person through what you want them to go through because you're partners and you want to have somebody with you to do things. And I understand that, but I think we also have to understand what the other person is going through. So it's important to set boundaries, and not even set boundaries. Like, I feel like my husband and I didn't even talk about this. Like, we just, you know, we kind of knew what each other needed at the time. And I would tell him, I was like, I'm gonna work out, so I'm gonna lock myself in this room. We had a second room, and I am going to lock myself in there for 30 minutes, and I'm going to do my Chloe Ting's workout. It would be, I'm gonna go for a walk with my dogs, and then I'm gonna come back, we're gonna have breakfast, because it was usually like a fasted walk, and then I am going to work out for 30 minutes before work. And he would be like, okay, that's fine. He hit a very stressful period of time during our lives, because this was peak panini times, right? So we were pretty stressed out, and we actually had to move to a different apartment. During that process, I changed my job. You know, I changed jobs, and I had a little bit more free time, and I would get out earlier than he did from work. So what I would usually do is I would go home after work and work out for 30 minutes at the beginning with my stepper and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I was actually pretty embarrassed to work out in front of him, because I knew that that wasn't something that he enjoyed or he liked. And I remember I was like, damn, you know, like I need to work out before my husband gets home, because I'm embarrassed that he'll see me struggling through my workout. I'm embarrassed that he's gonna hear me working out and struggling through my workout. And looking back, like, I realize now that the issues that I had with that like come from something completely different, and it's not like, oh, he doesn't like that. We project our issues into the person that we have the closest. My thing with that is, it's okay to have individuality in your relationship, even if you don't, if you know you're interested in something that they're not. For instance, during that time, I was like, I just want to work out, and I understood that he wasn't into that, and probably he wouldn't understand why I was doing it. You also have to think about the fact that it can also be very stressful for your partner that you're taking interest in something that is completely different from what you've been your whole life or the time that you've been with them, because it's change. And I think that it's also important to understand. So it can be a little bit stressful. I would tell him like, oh, I'm gonna go work out, oh, I'm gonna go do this, and he was like, okay. And my thing was just like, I just don't want to do this in front of you. I kind of need some privacy to be weird, because to me working out was weird. It's crazy how we are conditioned since we're young that certain things are gonna be embarrassing. Because when I was younger and little, sometimes I did get made fun of because I wasn't the most athletic person. So for the longest time, I worked out before he got home. And sometimes when I was like, I really need to work out, I really want to work out today, and he's home, I would be like, I just need like 30 minutes alone. So I'm gonna go into the next room and I'm just gonna work out. So I'm sorry. And he doesn't like the same music as I do, so that was like super weird, because he would be like, oh my gosh, you listen, because we all know the music that I listen to is like reggaeton, perreo, and stuff like that, and it's just not his vibe. And we would kind of like joke about it, and I just think that I needed those moments to like quote unquote be weird by myself, to know that it's okay. But imagine if I felt like that in front of my husband, who I love the most in this world, how the level of social anxiety that I would have felt going to a gym. I would work out alone and locked in my room. Eventually, I started needing more space. So during this time, like I would do little workouts, you know, I would very minimal workouts. Like I didn't have a lot of equipment. I would just be in my room, and I would do banded workouts. I would do with my 5-pound dumbbells. Really, I didn't do like the lifting that I do now. But eventually that stopped being challenging, and I was like, I kind of need a little bit more of a challenge. So I went to Burlington and I got myself a set of adjustable dumbbells, and they were like 20-pound dumbbells. Actually, it was one 20-pound dumbbell, but it came with 2 handles, so it could turn into 2 10s. So I got those. Hold on, I need some chapstick. So I got those, and I remember I told him while I was at Burlington, it's like, this is what I'm looking for. I really want to get some adjustable dumbbells and maybe like a little kettlebell. We were pretty tight, on a pretty tight budget at this time, so I wasn't trying to spend too much. So I got that, and I started looking into more workouts. So I remember one time I was like, okay, yeah, I really want to work out today, and I'm looking forward, because I had seen a TikTok with a workout that I really wanted to try, and we had like a little ottoman, and I wanted to use the ottoman to do like calves glute bridges. So I was like, I really want to try this, but I'm gonna have to do this in front of my man, and I don't know how to feel about that. It's either I work out in front of him or I don't work out, and I really want to work out today. And I told him, I was like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, oh, I'm just gonna play my game. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna work out like right there. And he was like, okay. And I was like, so yeah, just ignore me. Pretend I'm not there. Like, come on, like, just do what you gotta do. And I was like, all right, cool. So I went outside with my little dumbbells and I did my little warm-up, and I remember I was so like stressed and nervous, because I just, again, like, my own issues, and I knew that he wasn't the type of person that's gonna be like, oh my god, you know, like let's work out or anything, because he's not into that, and like that's totally fine. He's into video games, I am not, so that's completely fine. I was like stretching and yeah, and I was like, all right, well, this is gonna be a thing from now on because I kind of need more space. So I started working out in front of him, and it wasn't like ideal, like, and for the longest time, like, that's how it went. Then I usually did try to work out by myself, though. I really enjoyed my time alone, and I feel like that is totally fine to have your alone time. Again, individuality is important. I am going to do my eyeshadow now, and I think I'm gonna grab, because of the leggings, I kind of want to grab this darker color. It's so cute. I kind of want to do that one. I want to do that one, but super light. So with this Wet n Wild brush. So as time went on, I started working out a little bit more confidently in front of him. And he was like, are you gonna work out today? And that to me was like so cute. The moment when he noticed that, I feel like also it wasn't a phase. Like, it wasn't just another diet. It wasn't just another thing that I was trying. So it went from me telling him like, oh, I'm gonna work out, to him asking me, are you gonna work out today? And I was like, yeah. It was just different. And at that time, I would do the groceries because I was the one that had the most amount of free time. So I would go do the groceries, I would get what I needed, and he would come cook, and sometimes I would cook as well. But I was pretty much in control of what I ate. But things changed. And I started having a different schedule, very different from what he had. And our schedules were so completely different. And during that time, it was pretty hard for both of us because I would come home like super early and he would come home very late. So we would barely see each other. So I would always try to schedule like my workouts for the times that I was on my own. And it worked out fine, but it also gave me a lot of freedom to modify my eating habits, and not for the best. Not for the best, that's for sure. And my husband kind of like started to notice, and I remember then we moved out. And here we continued with the same thing. We continued with you work out on your own. Like, I would work out like right here with my little dumbbells, and then I grew into the bar. And same thing, he would be like, I'll take care of the dogs, you do your workout, you can wake up, work out. He saw it, he started to see it as part of my routine instead of something that I would do every once in a while. Like, it turned into, this is part of her day and she needs that time alone. And I feel like when I started to tell him like, I just look at this as time for myself, he started to see it differently. But most importantly, I feel like it was the consistency that he saw, and it was like, she's not fucking around this time. Like, this is not something that's just gonna happen today. And I feel like that also changed the perspective of me working out, that it's like, I'm not fucking around. Like, this is gonna be my life from now on. I'm going to wake up before work, and I want to have that time. And because you're my partner, I kind of expect that support, that we're gonna work together so that you can have your free time to play your video games. I can have my free time to work out. And usually that's how it went. He was playing his game and I would be here working out. Or he would take care of the dogs and I would be working out. You know? And it started changing. I'm gonna use this darker color, by the way, with the same brush because I don't care. And it started changing, but I feel like since my eating habits were so bad at the time, he called me out one time because I was literally not eating enough. And he noticed because I think he had made something to eat, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have like a tiny bit of that. And he was like, you are too old to have an eat disorder, to have an eating. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, no, like I've noticed it's okay. Like if you want to work out, that's fine. I support that. What I don't support is you doing this to yourself. And once he said that, I remember that shit. It hurt so bad because I was like, that's how you see me? Like you see me like that's what you think? And he was like, that's what it is. Like you literally don't eat. You want to have a protein shake for lunch. Like what the hell is your problem? And you need to eat more, and you need to understand that you are older now and your body will not react the same way. Like you need to get it together. And I that was like my wake-up call. Should your spouse be supportive? Yes, 100%. Your spouse should be supportive. And I understand, you know, again, like my husband has his own things with fitness, and I am not going to impose my views on him because it's unfair. And I also expect the same respect. Have I always been this way? No. Like there was a time where I was like, but we need to do this together. How am I supposed to do this by myself? Why don't you just do this with me? And I feel like that's something that maybe you need to have a discussion with your partner. If like after a while of you working out, they're just like, oh my god, like here you go again, like working out. It happens. Like I understand. And there was a time when my husband wasn't thrilled about the idea of me having so much equipment, because he was like, you're buying so much equipment, like you're getting so many things. What if you just decide one day you don't want to work out anymore? And I was like, that's not gonna happen. That's just not gonna happen. And he's like, it's happened before. And it has. And I just have to hold myself accountable to that. Years ago, like I'm talking to you like maybe 9 years ago, I bought an elliptical machine and I had it in one of our rooms. And I feel like this eyeshadow is just not blending with the way. Like I'm trying to blend it so hard and she's just not cooperating with me. It's very patchy, but I'm trying to make her work. So just excuse me while I blend my life away. When I got that elliptical machine, it was because one of my friends was like, oh my god, let's get an elliptical machine, it's gonna be so cool. And I got it, and it was literally in the room, and I used it to hang clothes off. Like it was so bad, I did not use it. I'm gonna use that little yellow one. Yellow, should I do? Just a little bit to kind of like blend out the edges. So I understand where he was coming from of, oh my gosh, you're gonna spend money, you know, in this. And we went through the trouble of having to sell that elliptical and just do the most, you know, like because I didn't use it at all. And I couldn't bring myself to use it. I would use it like once every 3 months, and it wasn't nearly as consistent as I should have been. So when his concern of it's like, you are going to buy so much equipment and then you're not going to use it, it was valid. I had done that in the past. And like sometimes we're not willing to accept the fact that se nos meten cosas, you know, like you have like pilas, like we like to say, and then you move on. And like all of the things that your spouse literally just saw you, it can be frustrating for them too, and I understand. So part of it is taking accountability. I feel like it's also the way that you approach this. And if anything, use it as even more motivation for you to say, you know what, this is the one time that I'm not gonna quit. I know that it's hard to see me spend money on this, on that. Like, dude, I am a Sagittarius. Not that that has anything to do with it, but I am a Sagittarius. I'm impulsive as shit. I have had so many hobbies. I have bought so many things that are literally, to this day, still in my apartment that I haven't done anything with. And they take up our space and they take up money, and I understand that. But this was the one time that I was like, I promise you, it's gonna be worth it. Like, I promise you, I'm not gonna just stop working out. Kind of want to use the shimmer, and I feel like I want to use this one. I'm gonna use this one, the darker one, like that one. But again, it's just, it's hard, you know. Having serious conversations may be uncomfortable, but I feel like it's also a great opportunity for you to use that as motivation and say, this is the one time that I'm not gonna quit. Like, just like, I promise you this time, I promise, not even them, yourself, of saying, I'm not gonna quit this time. Use this yellow one a little bit. I just kind of want to put some, like, and layer it. Oh, it looks so cute. I like that. This is your journey and nobody else's. And if they want to join you, they will. So go at your own pace. Do whatever the hell you have to do. And find times that you can work out, that you have. If you have 30 minutes to work out before, because you are embarrassed or you feel some type of way, I get that. Use those 30 minutes. When we're talking about food, oh my gosh, I got powder in my eye. All right, let me put on some lashes before I go on a ramble. I really don't like this eyeshadow look, but maybe lashes will save it. And I'm gonna use this dewy setting spray because I want to be dewy today. That's why I always say, like, do you think I really want to, like, deprive myself from foods that we enjoy eating together? Like, eating together is what we do, you know, like, that's what my husband and I do. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody else does. But when it comes to food, I feel like that is the biggest struggle as a couple, because we enjoy eating together so freaking much that I just feel like that's the biggest struggle for me. And sometimes, like, he would be like, let's go eat, let's go do this, and everything involved food, and I'm just over here like, I just kind of like don't want to do that, you know, like, or I don't want to eat that much, or I would go and find the healthiest thing on the menu or the most low calorie option. And that's something that you can also do. Or even then, you can also try to leave your biggest calorie days for those days so that you can still go on a date night and have fun while still achieving your goals. And I feel like fixing your relationship with food and fixing your issues by yourself, like the issues that you have, will also lead to changes in your relationship. You can do your own thing and still come home and spend time together. You know, like, because just because you are on a fitness journey doesn't mean you have lost, like, oh my gosh, like, now we can't eat together. Like, no, we still can. I will just eat a slightly different version of what you're eating. And it will take some self-control, because you guys are not on the same journey and you guys are not eating the same. It will take some self-control. You will see him eating cookies and you will be like, holy shit, I really want some cookies. And it will take some self-control, but I feel like the seriousness with which you carry yourself in this journey with a person that sees you every single day, and the discipline that they see you with, I feel like that's gonna change a lot for you as well, and the way that you view yourself. Well, I understand why it's scary for your significant other to be on such different paths, and it's like, oh my god, you know, like it can be scary for them too. Shit, like I would be terrified if my man all of a sudden would be like, I am just not gonna eat the same things that you do, and we share that, and I know that, so I'm just not gonna eat that anymore. And I would be like, oh damn, like that's something that we share together, that's something that we do together. And I would be not, yeah, maybe like scared of losing him. Establish your boundaries and say, this is me, this is my life, and this is my alone time, and this is what I'm doing. Just start saying, I need this alone time. Like, I need this time for myself. If you have kids, even more so. I feel like for your mental health, working out is so important for your mental health. And you can tell your husband, I desperately need some time for myself, to find myself again, to reconnect with myself. Seeing somebody who you love so much be so individualistic sometimes, and not selfish, but it can come across like it, or so I'm going to do my own thing, can be very scary for your partner. So I would say first, try to understand that you cannot bring somebody else on a journey that you are in. Respect their boundaries, respect the fact that because you live with somebody else, you can't just say like, we're not gonna have cookies anymore, we're just not gonna bring donuts into this house, no more fast food, no more this. Like, that's also another person, that's also an individual, so we kind of have to respect that. And the moment that you step away from that, it's the moment that that's gonna change for you. Like, that the moment that you stop trying to tell somebody else like, this is what we're gonna do. Might be a little bit easier with kids. I don't know, I don't have kids, but you know, I feel like in the past I have tried to force my husband into a journey that he wasn't into, and it only ended up making his relationship with fitness even worse. So I've learned that this is a change that I want to make for myself. And the only thing that he has to do is be supportive and understanding that I'm just doing this to better myself. So now my husband definitely has changed, and he's incredibly supportive, and he sees the discipline that it's taken, and he sees like that I'm not giving up on this. Like, this is not another fad diet, another era where I'm just like, I'm just really gonna work out and I'm really gonna lose the weight this time. Like, I think he really realizes that, and he's noticed the effects that this has had on my mental health. So now when he cooks, he's like, I want to get more protein so that you can have more protein in your diet. I made you egg whites so that you can have more protein for less calories. He's trying to learn how to count calories so that we can do low calorie foods. But that comes from him. Like, I never said, this is what we're gonna do. And little by little, he has been making changes on his own diet too. And now he's like, he checks the calories on certain things, or the carbs, and he'll look at the carbs and be like, man, this has a lot of carbs. And he uses the stepper every once in a while. He'll use the stepper and do a little cardio. He walks our dogs constantly, and he's active. And to me, that's great. Like, I don't want to fuck up his relationship with fitness even more. And I want him to find his own way And my job as a partner is to support him through that and not make comments about anything like maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that, because that's exactly what I wouldn't want somebody to do to me. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like that's the biggest hurdle. I am actually growing to really like this eyeshadow look. The more I look at it. I just feel like that's the problem. You want to make sure that your partner does the same thing that you're doing. And in some partners, it can be, I don't want my wife to get better because she's going to leave me, she's going to do, and that is insecurities from your partner projecting onto you. So that is a problem that they need to fix and not yours, not you. So the only thing that you can do is show your true intentions. And I always like to say, always assume good intentions. And maybe tell your spouse if they're scared or they're not 100% with you going to the gym or working out, because they're like, oh my God, you're gonna get too fine, you're gonna leave me, you're gonna find somebody else at the gym, and this and this. Just be like, I'm just working on this for myself. This is for me. And I, like, if anything, this is gonna make me more confident, you know, to be a better partner even. So that's another topic, but it can improve your confidence a lot. My advice is just that: have an honest conversation about your intentions and say, assume good intentions. I'm not trying to go to the gym to find somebody else, and go from there. But it is possible to be on a fitness journey that your partner is not a part of. That was a lot of rambling, but I hope you enjoyed that. My brushes are disgusting. I am seriously considering just like tossing them because they're so nasty and I have to wash them. I just don't have time. Moving time is coming and I'm stressed as hell. But anyways, it can be hard, definitely. And a lot of it has to do with your own issues. So focus on working on yours before you try to fix somebody else's. If you feel self-conscious working out in front of your partner, find ways to work around that. Find ways that you can just work out when they're not there. Work out in another room. But build your confidence. Like, build your confidence. And yeah, food-wise, fix your relationship with food. Try to understand that you can't be like, well, I'm gonna cook a batch of protein pasta that even though you guys don't like it, that's what we're gonna cook. I understand that cooking for yourself might be different, and I actually talked about this in some of my TikTok videos of it's like shopping for your family versus shopping for yourself. I cannot buy 2 boxes of pasta because that is too expensive for me. So you can learn about portion control and stuff like that to continue eating the things that your family eats on a daily basis, and just adjust it to your portions so that you can meet your goals. That's it. Thank you for another chill talks with me. I hope that this helps give you some insight as to how this went for me. But if you have any tips, give them down below. Just work on yourself. I'm gonna show you my outfit. Actually, I'm not wearing the right shoes, but I'm gonna show you my outfit because it's really, really cute. Hold on. You can see the color. It's so cute, but the sports bra is everything. Look. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Love it. Is it 9:42 p.m.? Yes, it is. Good night. Bye. I will see you next week. And let me know in the comments anything that you want me to cover. Okay, bye.